And I am live. I am live. Just got off of Rule Zero not too long ago. Hopefully, I'm working out of this the right microphone. Let's mute. We'll find out. Got nobody. Oh, there's one person. So about a minute or so pass. Let some people get on here. Give your likes, get your thumbs up in. All right. We'll start breaching this topic here shortly. So we're going to talk about if you can actually be the alpha if she's making the money. All right. This is actually a sponsored video request from, we'll call him Bob. All right. Bob had this question. He sent me an email and sponsored it. So we will dive into it. He had to read through his email and we'll answer that question. So we'll start here. If you guys got any questions or anything like that, I'm watching the chat too, so I'll be able to answer things for you maybe. All right. So he writes, "Dear Paul, I hope you are good. You are fast becoming my favorite voice to listen to in the manosphere. You have great experience in many modes of life, but don't try to ram it down our throats like some arrogant dude." Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I live in London, England, self-employed. I have my own place, never married, no kids. I discovered the red pill world as a result of a spurned lover, had the one-itis eccentric, but thankfully didn't make a fool out of myself by pining after her. Well, good job. I realized I needed to do more work on myself, and I'm still doing it. All right, good. Okay, but I have a question about whether exceptions to male-female dynamics in successful relationships exist. For instance, a family member in East Asia, works in a law firm. She earns $150,000 a year. She married a guy at the same law firm during her 30s. He left his job when they had their first kid 20 years ago. He became a house husband while she went back to work because she was the higher earner to begin with. They now have two kids, 20 and 13 years old. He has not worked in 20 years. She has never had an affair or asked to relieve the relationship that we know of. They still hang out as a family, and she pays for it all, including the house and the cars. As far as I can tell, whenever I visit, they never argue or seem like things aren't working. Maybe because it's Asia, but surely this dynamic in the US or Europe is a recipe for an affair or a sexless marriage, question mark. He definitely holds the frame with kids and is the disciplinarian, but can you really hold frame with your wife if you are living off of her wage? Okay. And Peter in the chat says, yes, my woman of a year pines for me. Last year, she made 5 times as and I was at 200,000. Damn, Peter. Damn. Yeah. So here's the thing. Women need and desire your alpha presence. Okay. You can give that presence without being the top earner. Happens all the time. All right. First of all, think about pimps. All right. Old school, right? Sometimes not so old school. Why do these women who are prostitutes, for example, hire a guy, you know what I mean, to keep him in line, manage him, and he takes their money, right? They actually want that, and they actually want that guy as that alpha male presence. He offers her protection and things of that nature, right? But let's look at the modern day example, like OnlyFans girls. A lot of these webcam girls have a male managing them, have a male or a company run by males that are managing them, even though they're the earners. All right. Well, why doesn't that girl who's on OnlyFans making 6 figures, why doesn't she just manage herself and do all her own stuff? Well, I mean, she could, right? I mean, she's capable of doing that, but why wouldn't she do that? Why would she give a company or a guy literally half or sometimes more than half of her money, when she's the one earning, right? And the reason is because women are wired to have a male figure lead them. Now, I know that's not a popular idea in feminist culture, but it's just our genetic and biological wiring. And so you can maintain your alpha frame. And if you have that frame and your alpha presence, your alpha leadership, your frame in that relationship, she can be the one earning the money as long as you are maintaining your status as an alpha male, right? Keep in mind, like yes, in tribal times, men usually brought the resources in, but that meant physical labor, though, right? That meant physically going out and getting the resources most of the time. All right. That meant, and then men also provided the protection as well, which is again a physical activity. In 2021, we're not, getting resources through physical activity necessarily. This in this example, this woman going to her law firm, she's not, having to, kill an animal and bring it home for dinner. You know what I mean? She's earning in a way that we're not really evolutionarily evolved like to earn that way. You know what I mean? That OnlyFans girl whose, boyfriend or whatever manages all her money, okay, and does all her marketing, right? She's not, she's not a webcam. She's not physically going out and bringing in or dragging in resources, And so if you have that alpha presence and you're supplying her alpha, her sexual needs, her emotional needs, you're providing her a sense of security with your presence. Even though she makes the money, you being the decision maker and being that calm, cool alpha guy, right? And your physical presence as well, being able to physically protect, all resonate in her brain as security, even though she's the one making the money. All right. Paternity, being a good dad, is another drive for women. If you are taking care of kids and being a good father, that's a need that you're bringing to her hypergamous brain. And then, having that legacy, she believes that you're loyal enough that you would stick with her even as she aged. These are a bunch of needs getting met. It actually doesn't matter if she's the one earning the money or she earns more than you. And now, is it more difficult? Some people are saying yes. All right. What's this say here? My girlfriend broke up with me in January because she had a doubt about me since some time. During the whole relationship, I was unemployed while she had a stable job. I did feel insecure and she felt it. All right. The problem with, and this is the comment here, problem with that is that you lost your alpha frame. You lost your alpha presence. You just said, you felt insecure and she felt it. That's what happened. Now, as a man, though, you still need to provide value. You still need to be chasing excellence in some manner to really, truly have that alpha frame, okay, with a woman who makes more money than you. All right. So you need to be doing something that is, your mental point of origin and making your dent in the universe. All right. Still need to be doing that. I believe that you need to be doing that, but that might not translate to money. Like Peter in the chat, who made $200,000, is probably making a serious dent in his universe, in his world, even though his chick makes like $1 million a year, what it looks like, or a little over that. Right. And so you can't just be, Mr. Mom and, the beta loser at home. You still have to maintain that frame. And so it's all about the frame, that you are managing and maintaining. She will follow your frame. She's wired to do that, whether your frame is good for you or not. So if you have this mindset that, man, I don't earn as much as she does, and you're kind of intimidated about that, you feel like kind of a loser and all this stuff, she will follow right along with that. You know what I mean? She will follow your frame. And if you think you're a loser or you're not valuable because she makes more money or because you're unemployed, she'll believe it. She will believe it because that's what you believe. So you have to change your beliefs about yourself and your situation, and you need to present that and let that permeate, into your environment. And then that she will follow that lead. How many women, especially want to look at like inner cities and stuff like that? How many women just have guys on the couches? Dead, what we call them deadbeat guys kind of thing. They're not even accomplishing anything. And these women are pining for them and keeping them around. It's their, and those guys are usually kind of a-holes, right? But that's that alpha presence. I run into it so many times. He's that guy's arrogance and narcissism, okay, that she pines for as he sits on the couch and she makes all the money, is what makes her keep coming back. Because, she doesn't, of course, realize she could get better than that. That's part of it. So she might have low self-esteem or feelings of low value or whatever, not believing that her sexual market value is high enough to get something better. That's usually the case with those situations. But she'll pine for that guy because, and I see it all the time. I see, women who have stable jobs and guys who are very unstable. And I don't recommend that is you. The reason why you need to be a stable guy and make your dent in the universe and make good money is not for a woman. It's for you. You do that for you because it makes you more independent. It's it's much easier to manage your fucks, right? If you are, making your own money and you don't rely on anybody else for that. So I recommend that, but that's for you, not for her. You actually can maintain frame. And I see it all the time. You can keep a girl around and keep her faithful, even if you're not that top earner. Okay, let's go more of this. How we can reconcile women dating up with them being okay as the breadwinners. Again, it's her perception of it's her. Hypergamy is subjective to her perceptions. All right. And it's not just, you guys are thinking very transactional right now, which is a beta dynamic. A transactional relationship is the lowest form of sex, okay? The lowest form of desire, and really is that beta situation or beta relationship. When a woman is vetting a dude out for BetaBucks, we call it BetaBucks for a reason, right? Because she is bargaining. What she's doing is she's bargaining her sexual needs and desires for a provider. All right. So if she sees the guy as BetaBucks or a provider, then of course she's going to discard that guy if her money exceeds his and he's not providing any other value, like, for example, taking care of children so that she can make them more money or whatever. If he's not providing that transactional value for her, she'll discard that guy for sure. And even if, he's providing that transactional value, she will often cheat on that guy because her sexual desire isn't for that guy. You see? So when women discard guys because they're not making enough money, right? That's because they're thinking transactionally in that relationship. They're in the relationship because of the transactional nature. If you flip that and you're her alpha bangs, right? Or alpha lays, okay? If you're supplying her sexual desire and her needs in that sense, and she sees you as the best genetic or physical option for mating. That's a different dynamic now. You know what I mean? That's a different dynamic, and a lot of women won't care about the money. They won't care about it when you have that alpha frame. And I know because there's been different times in my life where I was not earning that much money. And I was with a bunch of girls, you know what I mean? And they were paying for everything. and they weren't ugly either. All right. So why is that? So I personally experienced that. Now I would rather make my own money, obviously, and I'd rather not need to rely on a woman for anything. And that's why it's harder to maintain frame. If you're reliant on her income, then that's more difficult. And the way to do it or accomplish it is you have to appear to not be reliant on her income, meaning you just have to no F's given, as we say, right? So I'm reading the comments here. Yes, money is only part of the equation. That is correct. Alpha is misrepresented in society as being a savage gorilla. Yeah, absolutely. The reality is being alpha is just being secure in yourself. Very true. I think so. Yeah, it's yeah. We make masculinity now and alpha-ness into a cartoon now. It's a cartoon in our gynocentric society, right? It's a bunch of stereotypes. It's not which isn't really what that is, right? Um, I make her world incredible as no one else has. She tells me I'm the best she's ever had. I lead and she loves it. The fact that she makes more is just a bonus and does not change anything. Yep. That's I totally believe you. I totally believe that's Peter again with his $1 million chick. I believe you. I mean, 100%. I've seen that dynamic more than once, and it can work. Yeah, you just worry about you, what you're doing, the impact you're making, and then she'll follow. Prime example of a woman pining for an alpha with lower income than her. Jada Smith cheating on Will Smith with August. She'd rather bang a lower income alpha than stay with a rich beta. Absolutely, 100%. That's strategic pluralism right there showing up in pop culture, right? She has her needs met, her security and financial needs, taken care of. So she's been seeking the alpha guy to bang. And this is, look, the global this is what I explained on Rule 02. If you guys watch that over at Rich Cooper's channel. There's a delay in my video. It's a little weird. I don't know why that is. Anyway. Yeah, it's like being the alpha dude cuts right through all the BS. Okay. It cuts right through it. And this is why with Apex Mindset, a lot of guys that come do consultations with me, we're succeeding, not just trying, at getting into that alpha frame, doing mental fitness exercises in order to get into that alpha presence, that alpha frame, that outcome independence, that emotional self-control, all of that stuff. Life is just much better when you're the alpha guy. Okay. When you have those characteristics and those traits, people follow you. Women want to be with you. Men want to be around you. Okay. It's just what follows. You don't have to be a narcissistic a-hole in order for all that to happen either. Because people like to be led in society and they will follow the narcissistic a-hole too, right? For a while anyway, until they get burned. But you don't have to be that guy. You can just bring a calm, cool, collected alpha presence for yourself to your social environment, and that environment will respond very positively to that. You cut right through all the BS with female hypergamy, all the BS with the global sexual marketplace and inflated, delusional images women have of themselves. Okay. The carousel, all right, riding all the D's, them going through their hoe phases, all that stuff, all right, strategic pluralism, all of it. You cut right through all the bull stuff by being that alpha guy, setting your standards and having that presence, all right, and that's has to do with what's going on up here. All right, let's read some more comments here. And it's a light day today for people in my chat. Usually, you want to do this during the week, like in the afternoon. I get like so many people on. So it's probably because you guys don't want to do any work. You need a work break. But right now, people are busy on a Saturday afternoon. They don't want to be on YouTube, which is totally fine, of course. Let's see what else. Have to admit, you're one of the funniest alphas on YouTube. You remind me of my best friend from school. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a myth that women are down by money. They want their man to be a leader, not necessarily richer. Well, yeah, actually, that's true. so many times I've had like these situations where I'm coaching guys and they lead with money because they're insecure about themselves. This is why being a tryhard is going to get you nexted quick by hot girls, or they'll use you for your money, and then they're banging a dude like me who's broke, lost my shoe, half intoxicated on a Saturday night, you know, forgot to shower that day, and I'm smashing her behind a dumpster, before she goes home with the guy, go ask her after she got her dinner paid for, by a guy with a Ferrari or something. Like, really? And then, of course, that's a little extreme, but but really, it's like when you're the alpha dude, you cut right through it. And having money is an attractive quality. It represents security. And sure, women will go for you for that. Their genuine desire for your D, okay, isn't going to be because of what's in your wallet. All right. They'll let you stick your D in them because you got a bunch of money and it's a transactional relationship. They're not going to be all that excited about it. You might as well get a hooker. You know what I mean? But if you want a girl to really want you, right, you got to be that alpha dude, right? And you got to cut through all the BS. What else we got? My ex paid for 99%. It came sharing more than me. Yep. Let's see. The TV show Billions has many examples of guys who make millions but are beta as F. Absolutely. I see that all the time, man. I see that these guys will, I have friends who will pull up in like, hot car, Corvette, something like that. You know what I mean? And they're trying to think of all these creative places to take a chick and really impress her. And she's not gravitating towards that guy at all, like kind of sexual way. And she sees him as kind of a douche, and she's weighing it out. Do I want to keep? That's the guy she makes rules for, right? She starts, I'm not going to sleep with him on the first 3 dates. I really want to see what he's like. I mean, all that stuff. She starts making rules for that guy because he's not alpha. Now, if you have money and resources to do stuff and you're alpha, well, of course, gold standard, man. This is a gold standard, right? Absolutely. She's gonna not want to lose you at all. They'll get you a ton of women. All right. So, but you can't have one without the other, though, and that's the point. And so, yeah, smash the MF and like button. Oh yeah, I like it. So anyway, that's about it. Right. Well, I'll answer that question. Hopefully that helps out my friend Bob here, who sent over that email request. And I've been sitting on this for like a week. I've been slammed with consultations and stuff like that. A lot of you guys we're getting stuff done, man. We're getting you guys set up for a good spring, good summer. Guys are going to be making more bank, feeling better about themselves, physically better, showing up better, being a better person, and then de facto having better people around you, better people in your life, because you're a function of, the people that you have around you is a function of how good you are as a dude, as a person. As I said before, I mean, you want good experiences with women in your life. That's your sexual market value, working just on you and working on yourself. It's a function of game or your abilities or skills. I call it skill sets. Your skills with women. All right. SMV plus skills with women. All right. Plus opportunity. And that means taking that opportunity, seeing lots of women and vetting them out, nexting very quickly. When you waste time with women that are not good for you, you lose opportunities. There's what's called an opportunity cost. It costs you opportunities with better women. All right. I can't illustrate that point enough. I really can't, because that is probably the biggest mistake that guys are making right now in the dating marketplace. They don't really understand plate spinning. So they end up seeing like one girl and allowing that, instead of having a casual relationship with a few girls and, nexting them. 2 dates. This girl I went on 2 dates with, and I just, there's too many non-negotiable problems here. she's gone, and then you make room for another one, and so on and so forth. It doesn't necessarily mean banging everybody either. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's not necessarily what it means. What it is a process of elimination. Okay. If most women aren't going to be good for you out there in the marketplace, then that means if you're only seeing one girl, putting all your investment into her, then you find out 3 months later she's not a good investment. How much time? You're going to see 3 or 4 women a year. Well, if 7 out of 10 are completely trash, and out of the three out of the 10 that are not trash, 2 of them just aren't going to like you, or you're not going to like them, or just won't work. I mean, if you only see 4 women that year and they're all part of the 7 out of 10, no wonder why you guys get in the chats and, are really angry and think that women ain't shit today, right? Women are garbage. No wonder why you guys think that, because the women that you have around you are garbage. You know what I mean? Because you either don't have the skill set to get and keep better women around you. All right. Or but usually it's not even that though. Usually it's a problem. The problem is usually opportunity. And the problem is that opportunity cost is that you guys are wasting your time and energy with the wrong women instead of getting rid of them. You know what I mean? And so that's the biggest thing you can do for yourself, really, is to get rid of women that are toxic, or get rid of women that are not serving you, not complimenting your life. The best thing for yourself. And a guy to do that, you have to have that alpha presence. You have to have that frame of mind to say, listen, this isn't working for me. And so you move on from somebody, right? See, look at Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. These dudes are loaded financially, but Chris has no luck with women, and Kevin's going through 3 divorces now. Is he on his 3rd one now? Holy crap. I don't pay attention to anything. Blue pill is rife in Hollywood to this day. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, man. Like, you look at these high SMV guys. I would consider, Kevin Hart and Chris Rock both high SMV dudes. I mean, you see these high SMV guys in Hollywood and these celebrities just losing their chicks left and right. It's because their frame sucks. They need to take my frame course that's going to come out this soon. Don't ask me when. It's soon though. Trust me, it is. I'm working out some kinks, but yeah, they need to get on board. They need to pay for consultation with me and do, learn some frame, because that's what's missing. They have everything and they can't keep these chicks. So either they pick the wrong chick. Okay. So their skills with women weren't good. They have a skill gap. That's a perfect example, because someone like Kevin Hart has all of the opportunity with women, all of it. He has a selection of women he can choose from. All right. He's a funny guy, good personality from what I can tell. You know what I mean? Yes, he's a shorter, smaller dude. That doesn't matter. Okay. It really doesn't. I know one guy I can think of was one of my Ranger buddies. He's like 5'5", and he's slayed with women. All right. Absolutely slayed. Okay. And he was average looking at best. You know what I mean? And with all the resources, the status that a girl would have being Kevin Hart's chick, the level of status that chick would have is enough for him to have his choice in the sexual marketplace. So what's missing? Skill. All right. He doesn't have the skill with women. He thinks he does maybe, but he doesn't. Okay. Because that's what's missing. It's probably skill in vetting them out. That's probably this biggest problem, because that's usually people's biggest problems, is again, that opportunity cost, right? They can't maintain frame in the relationship, and they're picking somebody who they're not going to be able to maintain a girl like he should. That's a skill set in and of itself. I found that, let's see, I'm reading stuff. Listen to Paul, guys. Thank you, Dark Triad Lifestyle. All right. I found that inviting women out for an activity instead of dinner cut through all the BS. Even when they declined, they were upfront honest. It also saves time and money. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't. And so here's my take on dating, right? Here's my take on this. Is like, do something low investment, and she has to earn your further investment. throughout that date, right? So my thing that I do, I don't bring a chick directly to my house or directly to my place as a first move. Why? Because women are crazy. There's crazy ass women out there, right? And all it takes, for those of you guys who are matching on Tinder and having them come over your house for a first night lay, all it takes is one girl to me to your ass, right? And you won't be doing that shit again. Right? And I mean that. I've had several clients, several guys call me in a panic because they pulled that move. They brought a girl that they didn't vet very well to their place, and now she's claiming that something happened in terms of like sexual assault. And these guys didn't assault these women. One guy, he had met a girl on he was doing seeking arrangements thing, right? So he was doing basically salt dating, all right, on seeking arrangements. Okay, which is, by the way, an excellent way to get laid, right? If that's what you're looking for. If you just want to get laid and have fun and not have relationships or whatever, seeking arrangements is a really good way to do it. And you don't end up having to pay these girls. That's a whole nother topic. But yeah, he had some girl over, and a couple, he brought her directly to the house, and without vetting her out first, without spending a little time with her first and seeing if she is crazy. And what happened is she called with a pregnancy scared and was asking for like thousands of dollars for an abortion and was trying to scam them. So this chick was on seeking arrangements, and she's, banging dudes on seeking arrangements, calling them saying, I'm pregnant with your baby, and then collecting money for abortions. She's not even pregnant. I imagine, and she was asking for $1,000. I don't think it's cost $1,000 to get an abortion, but regardless. So imagine if she does that, 5, 6, 7 times a month, right? So she's making $7,000 in a month just by doing an abortion scare on guys. And no, she was never pregnant. He never gave her any money. He followed my advice. But I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure that dude isn't bringing chicks directly to his house anymore. All right. Or how about the chick who, becomes a stalker, starts throwing bricks through your window and stuff like that. I've had a couple of those that were like that in my early days. So anyway, my advice is you do something low investment. You probably already all heard this before, but just a quick drink after work is like my usual thing. Hey, let's go grab a quick drink after the workday on Thursday. All right. That's the thing. It's low investment, easy. And so if I don't like her, I can next her in 15 minutes. All right. And I've done it before. Now, if I like her and it's going well and she likes me, that drink can turn into a location change. It can turn into an activity. It can turn into dinner. It can turn into a couple things. And as I'm do 2 location changes, she feels like she knows you a lot better than if you just had one location. It tricks their brain a little bit. Her comfort level and desire level rises much faster. So what I call her sexual action threshold is what I call it, actually lowers. So here's another thing. All right. There's genuine desire. Consider genuine. I did a video on this if you guys caught it. There's genuine desire, like 0 to 10, right? But it's not just desire that causes her to sleep with you either. There's something else that I call the sexual action threshold. All right. That is her barrier to sex, almost like anti-slut defense or whatever. So for example, a girl who has it in her mind, she sets a rule for herself. I'm not going to have sex with this guy on a first date. Let's say that's her rule. So her sexual action threshold is, let's say, an 8, which means her genuine desire for the guy she's with has to go past 8. All right. If 10 is orgasming, okay, it has to be 8.5, 9. She has to be like, a lot of things have to be in play. She has to be really horny. The guy has to be really alpha. Maybe some, whatever. A lot of things happen. Now, let's say she has some alcohol. We're not saying go sleep with drunk girls, but let's say she has a little bit of alcohol, loosens up a little bit. Maybe that sexual action threshold comes down to about a 7, right? You do a couple location changes maybe, and she feels really comfortable with you, feels like she knows you really well, her comfort level's high. you're tricking her brain. She doesn't even feel like that's a one date. She feels like she's known you for more than one date. That action threshold comes down to a 6. What that means is her genuine desire only needs to get to about a 6 then for her to say, yes, I'll sleep with this guy. You know what I mean? And to allow herself to do that. Let's say she's at that 8 because she doesn't have sex on the first date. That's her rule. But then she goes to Cabo, right, on a 4-day girls trip, meets a hot dude. Her sexual action threshold is like a 3.5. You know, when girls go on vacation, they're looking for a vacation sex. Yeah, they can let go of all their inhibitions, have sex with some random guy, and nobody's going to know about it or care about it, maybe other than a couple girlfriends. You know, it's that exciting experience or whatever. So she could pick a guy, the guy she sleeps with maybe isn't that desirable. Maybe he's like really only gets her desire level to like a 4 or 5. But if her sexual action threshold is a 3, she bangs that guy for the experience of having sex on this vacation. You know, the full Cabo experience, right? When she bangs a local, all right? Where if she's home and she's out with a guy on a date and she really likes the guy, and on the first date, her desire for him, hits about a 7 on that date, but her sexual action threshold is an 8, she'll sleep with him on the first date. So even though just because she chooses to sleep with you, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're better than the guy or worse than another guy that she chose to sleep with. So if she doesn't bang you on the first date, for example, if it doesn't escalate there, okay, doesn't mean she doesn't have genuine burning desire for you necessarily. Her action threshold might be up. You know what I mean? Might be a lot higher. Okay, given that circumstance. Okay. And versus, it doesn't mean that the guy she banged within an hour of knowing him in Cabo was higher sexual market value than you. Doesn't mean that her desire for that guy was more. Just means that her sexual action threshold was lower in that example. So you got to pay attention to both things. Okay. You got to pay attention to genuine burning desire, but you want to pay attention to her action threshold as well, or her barriers. That way you can really determine, you know what I mean? Whether she has that burning desire for you or not, in comparison to her past or in comparison to other situations in the current, her current environment. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Oh boy. We'll look at more things in the chat. Any other questions? First date, cup of coffee. Yeah, a coffee, a drink. I like alcohol and I like evenings. You know what I mean? So for me, it's usually a drink. But I mean, if you're not a big drinker, do coffee. That's fine too. Yeah, walk in the park. That's kind of a thing that developed with COVID now because you can't freaking go inside anywhere in certain places. So people are doing these outdoor activities. That's fine. That can work too. What the course would offer us skills? Yes, that's exactly what it is. What course? My course. Which course is that? It's not out yet, but pay attention. It's going to come out soon. Okay. Like, keep on the YouTube and stuff. Get on my email list too. I don't send anything out like unless it's important. So I've only sent out one thing, and I've had this list going since September. Just get on it, because when the course drops, if you're on my list, you're going to get a discount for signing up from my email list. Okay. And I'm going to do an early sign up for guys who are on my email list. So when I do drop the course and open for enrollment, and there'll be, I'm not sure what numbers I'm going to have to limit it to, but you guys on my list will get first dibs and a discount. Okay. And then once it goes, live after the early enrollment, price will go up. And if you weren't on my list, it didn't catch it early, then, you won't get that discount. So, there's a benefit to getting on my list, guys. I want to provide value for you guys. All right. A chick stating she won't give up candy on the first date is a shit test most time. Oh yeah, absolutely. If she feels the need to state that, she feels that, just so you know, I don't have sex on the first date. What she feels the need to say that. She's saying that for her own self, not for you. She's trying to convince herself not to. That means her desire is high, usually. All right. She's trying to, it is usually, yes, it's usually a shit test. Never seen it from that perspective before. Cool. Well, I'm glad I brought a new perspective for you. All right. Well, that's about good. 40 minutes. Nice little Saturday afternoon chat with you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the thumbs up and the likes. Appreciate you guys. Okay. I got more on the frame. No, not frame. Retroactive jealousy. So we need to do a part 3 on that video series for retroactive jealousy. That's going to come out. I might drop it tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll see how long it takes me to do. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for the support. Peace out.